Hey everyone, welcome to my countdown to Walt Disney World. And I am so excited because I just got something in the mail from Walt Disney World. Welcome everyone, so glad to have you here with me today. If you are not a subscriber to this channel, please subscribe by clicking on my face down there in the corner and ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. Those of you who watch the channel know I will be returning to Walt Disney World in a little over 3 short weeks. I am so excited about my return, and especially so today because I got something in the mail from Walt Disney World. In today's video, what we're going to do is share my plans so far. There's going to be more, I'm sure. But what did I get? I got this letter from Disney's Magical Express. Now, those of you who are not familiar with the Magical Express, I'd like to share a little bit of it with you, and then we'll move on and we'll look at some of the other things that I'm going to do when I'm at Disney. The things that I've got planned so far, the things that are carved in granite. So Disney's Magical Express is a bus that takes you from the airport to your hotel. If you're a resort guest, you can get free transportation. Now that in itself is a pretty good benefit because normally if I would, go through a cab or Uber or something like that, it could cost up to $50 or even more. So there are good things about Disney Magical Express. There are bad things. Personally, I'm not a huge fan. I think the drawbacks outweigh the benefits, but I think we all have to make our own choices. So in this letter, it outlines the expectations. Now, in a nutshell, here's what the Disney Magical Express does. If you sign up, if you're a resort guest and you sign up to take the Magical Express from the Orlando airport to your resort hotel, they will send you a letter like this, and inside will be tags. On the tags, you're going to fill out your information. Actually, they might arrive filled out. I'm not sure, and you'll find out why in a minute. But regardless, the tags are going to be telling the handlers of your luggage what hotel you are staying at. So once you check in at your home airport, you will not have to look at your bags again until you get to your hotel room, where they will be placed there for you. Now, sounds great. Sounds better than ice cream, doesn't it? Here's a couple of drawbacks. Number one, depending when you get there, it could be really, really jam-packed at that Disney Express pickup area at the airport. So I prefer, personally, to get to the airport and just get a cab, get an Uber, get whatever, get to my hotel right away, have my bags there with me. When you take Magical Express, sometimes it might take several hours before your bags get to your hotel room, even though you might be checked in. And I like to have all that stuff available to me. Even if I get to the hotel before my room is ready, I can always check my bags with the bell service, and if I need to get in my bags to get anything, I can. And I think this is a good time to point out to you, and they do mention it in this letter that you get as well. Anything that you're going to need, anything you're going to want to have upon your arrival at your resort hotel, you should carry in your carry-on. Things like medications, sunglasses, sunscreen, cameras, anything like that. If you pack it with your luggage, you're not really sure when your luggage is going to arrive at the hotel. So make sure that all of those important things are on your carry-on, or in your carry-on, because you're going to want them when you arrive. The other thing you're going to want to make sure of is that you have your magic band. I remember the last time I used Magical Express, I got into line, I thought, oh my goodness, my magic band, my magic band. Fortunately, I knew I had it in my carry-on because they need to scan that before you can get onto the bus. Now, one of the other drawbacks is oftentimes those buses will stop at several resorts, and it does take a lot of time, and it does, for me anyways, gets a little frustrating because I'm anxious, I'm excited, I want to get to the resort, and they're stopping at this resort, and this resort, and this resort. So it really is up to you. The biggest benefits, number one, is a cost savings. Like I said, I would estimate around $50 that you're saving. And number two, it is not having to deal with your luggage. They take care of that luggage for you and get it to your hotel. So if that's worth it to you, you might want to go ahead and look into Disney's Magical Express. Now you might be saying, well, Mark, why you just were talking about you don't prefer it. Why did you get this letter? Well, I am not going to be going straight to my resort. I'll be staying at Pop Century this time, but I'm actually staying at 3 different resorts, or 3 different hotels rather. I'm going to arrive and I have some things I have to do in Orlando for the first 4 days. So while I'm there, I'm staying in a traditional hotel. I will be visiting the park, however. Then, after 4 days, I am moving to a timeshare in the area. You've seen it on my video, you know what I'm talking about. And I'll be staying there for 4 or 5 days. And then I will be moving eventually to Pop Century. So that's how I'm going. So since I am not arriving at the airport and going straight to the resort, it doesn't make sense for me to get on the Magical Express. But I want to take it back. So what I did is I signed up for the Magical Express for my return from my resort hotel to the airport. Now, another thing you might want to be aware of, since they are taking a lot of guests, they really want you to get on that express early. I think they ask you to get on 3 hours before flight time. Typically, you know, I am really used to travel. I don't leave quite that early for an airport, so I might, you know, manage to squeeze an extra hour out of my resort time. But that is the upshot of Disney's Magical Express. Now, what are my plans? I'm so excited. I got some plans already. I didn't make nearly as many fast passes and that sort of thing as you would think I did. Mainly because I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants type guy. I like to get to a park and just do whatever kind of suits me at the moment. I know you can't do that with everything. There is so much going on later this month at Walt Disney World. Number one, there's Mickey's Halloween party, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. I might still sign up for that. I'm on the fence. I went last year. I'm not convinced it's worth that $79, I think it is, hard ticket. It's an extra ticket event, and I'm not sure yet. But I better make up my mind soon, or a lot of those tickets may disappear. And I'm sure some of you want to see what it's like this year as well. So I'm kind of leaning in the direction of, yeah, I'll probably go to Mickey's Not So Scary, just so I can make the video to show all of you. Then, the next thing I've got planned, let's see, the Walt Disney Marceline to Magic Kingdom tour. Oh, I'm so excited about that. It is the behind the scenes kind of life of Walt Disney tour. And I've heard so many good things about it that I'm really excited. The only thing that I think might be a little bit of a drawback, my tour starts at 8 a.m., but it's the day of an early park opening. And sometimes I know that you can get a behind the scenes of Haunted Mansion. I've heard people tell me with that tour. But I think if the park is open at the time, they probably aren't going to be able to do that. So, I've got that planned. And then I have a couple of fast passes. I do have a fast pass for Haunted Mansion. Like I just said, if I can't get into Haunted Mansion on the tour, I want to make sure that I can get into it without a long wait. I have a feeling it's going to be such a busy time. I started telling you what is going on, not only the Halloween party, but there is the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at the studios, and there is food and wine at Epcot. So there's so much happening. Then I'm going to have my Animal Kingdom fast passes. The only fast pass I made other than that Haunted Mansion is Avatar Flight of Passage and the Kilimanjaro Safaris. Now you can only, they've kind of established a new A-ticket system at Disney. And instead of having, you know, tickets like they did in the old days, what they do is they limit your fast pass access. If you have a fast pass on one of their top tier attractions, you cannot get another one on a top tier attraction that entire day. You might be able to get one if you go to a kiosk, I'm not sure, but I know, for example, I can't go to Flight of Passage, and certainly that same day I can't get a fast pass anywhere else at any other park until I use up those and exhaust those. But let's say I go to Hollywood Studios. There's a lot of Tier 1. You've got the Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, the Saucer Spin, Slinky Coaster, the, oh boy, I'm forgetting the name, the Midway Mania. All of those are top tier. So if you take one of those on your Fast Pass, you cannot get any of the others. So you got to be careful of that. So anyways, Flight of Passage and Kilimanjaro Safaris, I was able to get both of those on the same day. I still have one more I can use on that day. I just kind of want to wing it because I'll know I'll want to see some of the restaurants and other things at Animal Kingdom that day. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I don't even want to speculate right now. There's just so many options available to me. I'm thinking Cali River Ride, but we'll see. So what else? As you may know, Illuminations is going to be gone at the end of September, I believe. So I want to see it and get a good view of it one last time. So I made dinner reservations at Mexico. I want to make sure I get this right, so I'm going to be reading it. La Hacienda de San Angel dinner. And I've got my reservation for 8:45. I think the timing's going to be good. Now, I know some views are better than the others, but I've never been there. But everything I've seen online, people say you get a wonderful view of Illuminations. And since this is going to be my last visit to Walt Disney World while Illuminations is still going on, I want to make sure I have one last good Illuminations experience. So I am going to be having dinner there. And right now, those are my plans, but those are a lot of plans. I realize that this is going to be one of the last times I see, especially Epcot, in the condition it's in now, because I believe on September 8th, a lot of changes are taking place. Future World is going to be changing drastically. As we know, they are doing some changes to the Starbucks there. They're doing some changes to the character meet and greet. They're doing changes to Club Cool. So that entire building, it seems like, is going to be renovated. And as Disney says, reimagined. Same thing for Mouse Gears. Mouse Gears is going to be moving or relocating or changing as they do updates and reimagine that area as well. The Pin Trader Station in Future World. So all that stuff right around the fountains are all going to be changing. So I'm really excited to get one last look at that. I will be returning, I think, in November. By then, a lot of these things may be in the works, so I want to make sure that I take it all in. We still don't have word about Spaceship Earth, but we know Spaceship Earth at some point is going to be undergoing renovations. And we know that the monoliths out front, half of them are gone already. Last time I was there, they were just starting the destruction of those, destruction sounds kind of violent, the moving of those. So I'm really interested to see how it looks like with at least half that area open. The other half is going to be moved very soon. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that. And finally, the Skyliner. Oh, I'm going to miss the Skyliner. It opens in September. What I'm kind of hoping is they might do some test runs, since I am going to be staying at Pop. That is one of the resorts that's served by the Skyliner. I kind of am going to keep my fingers crossed, hoping that maybe they'll decide to open it up for a few early test runs. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. There might be that 1% chance that I might be able to get on it. In any case, I'm going to check out the stations, the Skyliner stations, and I'm sure they're always testing it, right? And we can see it in motion. I've seen it the last few times I visited Disney, and of course the anticipation and the enthusiasm continues to mount. So that's it. That's what's happening with my countdown to Disney. August 26th, that's less than 3 weeks. Oh goodness, I can't wait for that trip. So I would like to hear from you. What are your comments? Those of you who have been there recently, those of you who will be going. What do you think? Galaxy's Edge, I haven't even talked about that one. I know there are some early admission days if you're a park guest, hopefully, or if you're a resort guest. Hopefully I'll be able to get in on one of those. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Ring the bell icon so you know when I post new videos. And leave your comments down below. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I look forward to seeing you next time. So long.